tonight to hopefully convince you to support me to run for the House 23B seat. I want to thank all of you, my glasses are coming off, of course, for taking a night out of your busy schedule to participate in perhaps one of the most important fundamental functions of our election process. As Dave said, it starts here with us, in our town mayors, in our city councils, in our school board elections, and in the legislature where you, the people of Mankato, and I hopefully will have a closer relationship with each other than we do perhaps to the federal government or even Congress. And that's one of the things that I think is going to make me a particularly good candidate for this position. I think we all agree, and we've heard from every candidate, the government is run amok. Entitlement programs have run amok. We've got health care costs that are out of control. We've got regulations and unfunded mandates that are sending businesses and industries that provide good jobs for our community potentially packing for the borders. All of this social waste and financial ruin has got to stop now. And in Mankato, as a lifelong resident, I've seen where some of that goes. I spoke to some of you earlier tonight before the caucus started here, and we were talking about things that the city spent a great deal of money on that perhaps aren't getting utilized to their fullest extent. And yet we're looking for more. And we do have a high tax rate in this town. This midterm election is perhaps one of the most important in decades. As a party and a state and a nation, we are at the crossroads of defining who we will be and how we will proceed into the future. I believe in the party's platform that originates right here with the people in this room. One of the things you're going to be doing tonight is you're going to be working on resolutions to the platform, things that you'd like to see changed or amended. So it all starts right here with us. And I am using a little bit of a teleprompter tonight, aren't I? Our platform defines who we already are and is a clear statement from you, the people, that it represents, and it should be defended and taken seriously when creating law. This year you also have a choice as to which candidate you will send as your envoy to the Minnesota House of Representatives. That choice is between Dave and I. That choice is made more difficult because while my competitors seeking your endorsement and I agree on a great many issues that must be addressed and resolved, we do have one major difference, and that would be my life experience. What I do know is that extreme attempts at reform result in even more extreme backlash. And with life experience comes patience and understanding and a way of doing things that perhaps we can get to a place where everybody can agree on where we should be going. Like many of you, my husband and I own a business. Couple of small businesses. Not just any business, though. We are in a business that is perhaps one of the last great bastions that represents the free market economy, and that's the auction industry. The other business perhaps represents some of the worst of our government interference, and that's the real estate industry. And I think in Mankato particularly, we've been keenly aware of how the real estate market has fluctuated a great deal in the last couple of years. The auction business sometimes is a little bit difficult. As an auctioneer, I deal with people one-on-one in some of the most challenging times of their lives. Through my customers' eyes, I see bankruptcy, financial ruin, businesses that are basically obliterated for back taxes, foreclosures, and probably the thing that is the hardest to take is when I see the uncertainty of our senior citizens, my largest group of customers, as they face the loss of their personal and financial independence after a lifetime of contributions and hard work. This business also allows me to see the best in people through helping charitable organizations raise much needed private funds to do the good work that they do. But even that money is dwindling as many of those who would give are finding themselves in their own financial crises. For over 3 decades, I've been able to help one person, one business, one family, or one organization at a time. As a legislator, I'm hoping that I can open that constituency up to a much larger group of people and take some of the things that I've learned in my business and apply that common sense to the government. I've come up with a list of 10 questions that every legislator should ask before funding any spending proposal. These are questions that many of you probably ask in your own businesses, the same kinds of things. You know, what is the long-term effect of it? Where's the money going to come from? Who is it going to benefit? And I will be happy to talk to any of you about what those questions are. None of them is any more of a priority than the other, because when we make decisions that affect hundreds of thousands of people, we have to take a whole lot of things into consideration, not just the cost, but the cause, the effect. Is it a want? Is it a need? And so that's a big part of what I'm about. My experience has also taught me how to achieve a meeting of the minds as opposed to uncomfortable compromise that doesn't get anything accomplished for either party. And it doesn't hurt either that I have some sales skills when it comes to conservative Democrats and independents. And perhaps I'll be able to use those to win some hearts and minds in our direction on conservative values. I don't presume to know what the outcome of the election this year will mean to the balance of power in the Minnesota State Legislature. That is going to ultimately affect our ability to be effective. What I do know is that regardless of who controls the Minnesota Legislature next year, the people of this district deserve to have a strong voice, an empathetic ear, and a tireless advocate for their values. And you will have that in me. It would be my sincere honor to have your support, your confidence, and your assistance in helping me make this state the kind of place that it can be and the kind of place where everybody would love to live somewhere in Minnesota. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your support.